Good morning, guys. So, happy Tuesday. I am on my way to work. I hope you guys can hear me because I have the froster on and it's a little loud. So today is Tuesday. So Monday, I took a mini day off yesterday. I just felt like, they could miss me for one day. I need some time to myself. And then in the process of saying, hold on, guys. The light turned red. So in the process of saying I needed a day to myself, I also started graduate school. So I'm still trying to work out, how to balance everything, because the boys have activities, or one of them have activities. I still go to work and stuff like that, and so I'm just still trying to balance things out. And then when I got in the car this morning, I noticed that I noticed that I was like, oh wow, I was like, fall, today's the first day of fall. It's gonna end up getting, I guess it's gonna still be dark outside or whatever when I go to leave in the morning, because I usually leave I'm supposed to leave about 6:30. What time do I leave? I'm supposed to leave 6:15, 6:20, but generally I don't leave out until 6:30. So yeah. So then I noticed that, like I said, that the sun won't be coming up as early as it did before. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do my little, ride with me, or my little morning vlogs on my way to work or whatever, so that you guys can see me. Hopefully you guys can see me pretty well. If not, I'm gonna have to figure some stuff out. So I think this morning I kind of want to talk about the idea of, when you go to work, you're happy that you have a job, and you're happy, you're blessed, you're confident and everything. But it's just I feel like I don't understand, and maybe this could just be a millennial, and I quote millennial because, believe it or not, I'm in my early 30s. So I do feel as if sometimes people or society, not just people, but maybe society, quotes the millennials as we don't have work ethic, or we don't work as hard as other generations has work, or whatever the proper, has worked before or whatever. I just feel like the job industry, the job industry is so hard. I feel like it's just, is this the stuff that our grandparents went through? Because like I said, my grandparents one was born in 1920 and one was born in, I believe, 1940 or whatever the case may have been, or something like that. So my thing is this what the job market is coming to? It's just like when you go into work, it's just, everybody is just upset. Everybody is just in a way. And it's just like, yo, you make all this money and you come into work with an attitude of, I don't know, let's just, misery loves company, I guess. And it's just like, yo, let's just get this done and let's just roll out. However, there are different aspects to work. And what I mean by that is in some people's jobs or whatever, there's a situation of management coming down the tree. So it's just like, okay, the top person, CEO is mad at, director, and director is mad at, whatever. So I understand that there is a trail of things that trickle down from step to step to step to step. And I guess I get it, but once I verbalize it, I say, okay, yeah, I see why they're coming in mad now. You know what I mean? I see why they coming in with that attitude, like, forget the world, or I'm going to create a bunch of extraness. And it's just like, I just feel like it's just horrible. I do. I feel as if it is really, 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 really horrible. I feel like, to come into work, into a hostile work environment, come into work in a stressed out work environment, for me, that don't work. Like, I'm really getting to a point where I feel like to go to school all these years and to be into this much debt, like, versus student loan debt, to have to deal with this on a daily basis, it's not what I signed up for. Don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with, resolution management or any of those kinds of things. I feel like my issue is the resolution management only go but so far. Because if you just working on your direct person, it's just like you constantly got to put the mask on every single day. And it's like at some point you get tired of wearing the mask to have to deal with some of these people. And it's just like, it shouldn't even be like that. And the part that gets me is, it's the older people. It's the ones that, that probably should be getting ready to retire. And it's just like, it makes me think, like, are you just bitter because you still gotta work? Are you bitter because life just didn't pan out? I mean, at the same time, it's just like, it's so many different aspects of work that it's just like, for me to sit here and talk to you about it, it's just like, it can really take me all day, because I'm trying to understand why everybody walking around and the other, it's like everybody walking around with this manipulative attitude. Maybe I ain't caught the drift yet, right? I'm just not a manipulative person. I just don't have that kind of characteristic. I just don't feel like I have that kind of mental capacity to be sitting there like, let me play games. Like, let me follow the leader, or, let me see if I can get so-and-so into trouble, or I just don't have that mental capacity. My due diligence is to do my job and try to do it as effectively as possible. However, I'm not in the business for the bullshit. Like, excuse my French. I'm not in the business for that. And I feel like there's a real big difference between being cordial and being fake. Cordial, people say, you speak to everybody, good morning, da 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 da. Oh, guys, where the hell am I going? Oh, shit. I got a blind moment, like, where am I going? I know I'm going to work, but where am I going? I think I know where I'm going. Yeah, so I'm sitting here, like, for a second, like, I just don't have that kind of capacity to be sitting here dealing with that. I just don't know. I mean, it's like I'm getting to a point where at one time I was excited to come into work, and then now I'm to a point now where I'm like, what am I coming into work for? You know what I mean? Besides a paycheck. Like, I gotta deal with all this extraness. Like, all this extraness. I don't know. And I thought this way would have been faster, and it really is not. Okay, so if I could show you guys all this traffic, like, this is just crazy. Like, crazy. And I'm still trying to remember the exit I'm supposed to take, because I rarely ever take this exit or this way. I usually take a different way. You would think I would know this shit by now. I mean, I would know this by now. I mean, I live here. But yeah, I mean, is that tractor trailer trying to get over? Alright guys, I'm back. So, I was actually going the right way. I just, for a second, I guess all the traffic just caused a cluster brain, you know? So, like I was saying, I just feel as if the work environment is just, it's not right. The work environment is just not right. Like, I mean, I guess maybe in my mind, maybe I have a messed up, you know, thought process of what the work environment is supposed to be like. Maybe I do. I don't know, because I kind of sort of feel like this ain't it. Like, I kind of sort of feel like we're not getting nowhere. Like, when I say we, I mean the employees. We're not getting anywhere. I mean, companies come with, you know, oh, we're going to give you better benefits and these, that, and the third. But it's just like, forget the benefits to some degree, because if you can't use the benefits without repercussions, what good are the benefits? So that's my little shindig on that little scenario, whatever. You guys. So I'm just sitting here like, I'm just thinking to myself, like, the work environment is crazy these days. The employees is even crazier, because everybody, it's like there's no communication. It's just like everybody feels like it's like a backstabbing environment, and it's just like that. This ain't right. Like, this is not conducive to the process of trying to make a living. Like, I don't know, or maybe I might just be reading too much into it, but it's just like, and then it's like, people forget how to talk to people. Like, people got these sarcastic, you know, antidote like ways of communicating with people. And it's almost as if you trying to play this mind game with them, like, I'm smarter than you, I'm better than you, so I can talk to you any kind of way that I want to, because I'm me and you're you. Like, I don't know. Like, that's my thought process with that. Yeah. I just feel some kind of way. Like, I know I'm all over the place with my morning vlog, but it's just something that's just been like, it's just been flustering. Like, and then the funny part about it is that exactly when you get ready to try to look for another, like, you know how people tell you the idea, oh, it's easier to find a job when you have a job? Well, I'm starting to think it's not, because it's really discouraging when you're doing something and, you know, the companies come back and tell you that you're overqualified for something, and when you read the requirements, the minimum requirements and then the preferred requirements, you meet both of them, and it's just like, oh, but I'm overqualified. So then it just kind of sort of makes you feel like that's not what you really want. What you really want is somebody with no experience, because you just want to pay them nothing. Like, that just makes me feel some kind of way, and it's just like, is it even worth going to grad school for? And you know, it just makes me think a little bit. So I got that thought process going on. Oh, I'm gonna miss the light, freak. If that police officer wasn't right there, I probably would have kicked it into third gear and made my turn. But anybody got time to pay no tickets? Just to get to work 2 minutes faster, and then I still got to sit in the parking lot and comb my hair out. So what difference does it make? Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I am with the work situation. Everybody's just talking to each other in all kinds of ways, and And then, you know what gets me is how companies now, they send everything via email. They send everything via email, and then when you respond back to the email in the same tone that they sent the email, they kind of like come off at you like oh, like you're not allowed to do that. Like that's not something that you're supposed to know how to do. And I just be laughing because it's like, in my mind frame, it's like what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know what I mean? You want me to talk to you like I got some sense? You need to talk to me like you got some sense. And I think people really play on the fact that at work I'm really nice. Like, I speak to everybody, whether they speak back or not. I still speak. But if I'm in a mood where I'm like, you know, forget these people, I ain't gonna speak to nobody. I'm just gonna walk past them and act like they just a regular person like you and I. But it's just a lot. Like, work is a lot, and then it's just like, just think, like, you gotta raise your kids if you have any kids, or if you're thinking about having kids. Come on, lady, it's like you gotta raise your kids to kind of sort of like deal with this. And it's like, how do you prepare your children or whatever to deal with these kinds of personalities? It's just like, I guess this is some real stuff that they really talk about, where, you know, on the job training is, you know, or work experience is where it is. I mean, I get it. And it's just like, yo, we all here to do the same job. Like, let's make this money and let's go home. Like, let's work as a team. Like, why we all gotta work separate from each other, or why we all gotta work kind of like against each other, where it's like, oh, you know, I'm above you, so, you know, you do as I say type thing. Or why I gotta be like that? Or am I just tripping? Or am I just living in a fantasy world? Because I think to some degree I might be living in a fantasy world, because it's just like, oh, that's just not even about to be happening. Like, that's just not even realistic anymore. And that's something that I kind of sort of feel like that's where the difference come in between mini corporate America and then just regular jobs. I don't know. But that was my little thought process for today. And today's Tuesday, so I'm probably going to post this today so people can just, like, you know, get an understanding. I plan to try to do more of these because I feel like this is pretty much like my real time to really, really talk to you guys, because I mean, I'm busy during the week. Like I said, I'm going to grad school and I got things going on, and, you know, just stuff. Just everybody got stuff going on. And it's, you know what I thought to myself? I thought to myself a couple months ago, I was like, you know, I sat here and I had these two beautiful kids in this world. Like, I brought two kids into this world, and it's like, they're gonna have to deal with this and then some. Because if they say each generation gets worse, or each generation supposedly, quote, gets lazier, like, what is the next generation supposed to be like? You know, if that makes any sense. Like, the next generation of kids or young adults within the workforce, like, what is that supposed to be like? You know, sorry you guys, I'm ready to park into a parking garage, so that's why it got dark. You know, you guys, this is why I think our great grandparents used to pray for us. You know what I mean? If they didn't do anything else, they believed in prayer, and I believe in prayer. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I believe wholeheartedly in prayer. I just feel, how do I say it? I just feel like the amount of time that I spend with these people, I spend more time at work than I probably do with my own family, excluding the weekends. And I just feel like for us to spend this amount of time together and be at odds like the whole office situation is, I feel like that's just crazy. I feel like that's just crazy. But it's very important that we continue to pray for each other, continue to pray for our bosses. You know what I mean? Like, whether you believe it or not, we all pray. Like, regardless if you're going to church or whether you're not, or whether you're saying, I hope this, I believe this, all of these things are some type of form of prayer. So, as things start to unfold, especially, and I feel like a lot of this might just be going on too because of the political party situation that's getting ready to come about in November. What do you call that? The voting that's about to take place and everything pretty soon. I feel like that's about to take place. I feel like, so you got a lot of things that's just starting to show up and take place and all kinds of things. And I really do feel like it's imperative, you guys, that we continue to just not pray for ourselves and pray for our families, pray for our servicemen and women. I feel like we got to pray for our bosses and our bosses and our bosses mentalities and their feelings and things, because at the end of the day, if I'm going through something, whether it's just talking about work or whether you're going through something, we're all going through something. You know what I mean? And I just feel like it's just important that we just continue to just try to be positive, like try to encourage and just try. I guess that's my whole thought process for today, is just try. Like, we can get so much further when we try. So that's my vlog for today. You guys, happy Tuesday. I didn't mean to make anybody feel stressed, but it's just like, to hear another person, sometimes I feel like if I hear another person going through the same thing that I'm going through or something similar, I start to feel like, okay, I ain't the only one that got these issues or these buttholes at work, or whatever the case may be. So I feel like these kind of things are extremely important, to be able to express your feelings and express your feelings without being penalized. So sorry guys. So I say to everybody, try to have a good day. I say to everybody, try to have a good day. I say to everybody, just continue to pray, think positive, and everything else will work out. Okay guys, so I will talk to you guys later. Bye.